alliance. This time, confident his upcoming investment would succeed, he'd brought Mia into the villa openly. But the deal wasn't closed yet. Who could guarantee no accidents? Andrew, this is a business partnership. I, Emily Moore, am not a doormat. Choose the alliance. Or your mistress. His face darkened. He looked from me to Mia, now sobbing on the ground, and finally conceded. We struck a deal. He'd maintain the facade of marriage, keep Mia out of my sight, and transfer 2% more stock to me. In return, I'd turn a blind eye to his affairs. He agreed easily. With his past life knowledge, the stock meant nothing to him. What he didn't know, I'd been reborn too. Leave. I knew he'd been reborn too. The guests at the banquet murmured in surprise. Andrew's mother stood up angrily. Andrew. Where do you think you're going? Get back here now. Her only reply was his determined back as he strode out. I knew exactly where he was headed. Andrew had a secret obsession, a girl from his high school days he'd never been able to have. In our past life, on our wedding day, his obsession, Sophia Lane, had tried to take her own life. He blamed me for it all. During every fight, he'd glare at me like he wished I were dead. It's all your fault. You killed her. You're the one who deserves to die. He wanted me gone, and eventually, I did die young in a car accident. Now, here we were, both reborn. From my past life memories, I knew Sophia was currently caught in a scandal storm, with compromising photos of her private life leaked on Twitter. The stress had worsened her depression, and she was planning to slit her wrists to prove her innocence. So the moment he left the ballroom, I knew he was desperate to change history. Too bad I had no intention of letting him. Even though I'd wasted my life in our loveless marriage last time, I'd still gone through with the ceremony. Grandma Parker had praised my virtue and gifted me 3% of Parker Corporation stock as part of the dowry. The wedding went off without a hitch, solidifying the partnership between the Parkers and the Moores. This time around, Andrew was too busy with Sophia to care about our relationship, so I had to take the initiative. When I arrived at his villa, I saw my luggage tossed on the front lawn from a distance. Andrew stood at the door, staring down at me coldly. That look sent a chill through me. In our past life, when our marriage fell apart in middle age, he'd looked at me the same way, spitting vicious words. Every second with you is like swallowing a cockroach. You're disgusting. The memories flooded back. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and opened them again. Looking at Andrew's cold face, I felt nothing, no anger, no sadness. But the Moores were a respected family in high society. Having my luggage thrown out right after the wedding would be a disgrace. My family's maid stepped forward. Mr. Parker, what is the meaning of this? Before he could answer, a sultry woman stepped out from behind him, sneering at me. Miss Moore, I've never seen someone so shameless. Andrew publicly left the wedding, and you still think you're Mrs. Parker? Pathetic. This was Sophia's replacement, his mistress, Mia. In our past life, she'd constantly bullied me, flaunting Andrew's favor. I'd endured her out of respect for our families, only to embolden her. This time, I wouldn't tolerate it. Sophia was still alive. What right did a cheap knockoff have to bark at me? I glanced at my maid, who nodded. She marched over and slapped Mia hard across the face. Who do you think you are? You dare speak to our miss like that? Then she shoved Mia to the ground and kicked her. Mia shrieked, Andy, help me. It hurts. I scoffed, ignoring Andrew's expression. I grabbed Mia's chin and studied her face. Some replacement. She doesn't even look like Sophia. I slapped her twice more. Are you speaking to me as a Parker servant? Or as Mr. Parker's mistress? Andrew snapped, Emily, that's enough. No, it wasn't nearly enough. He'd tortured me for years in our past life. Chin and studied her face. I intended to collect every debt. Some replacement. I rubbed my wrist casually. She doesn't even look like Sophia. Is this the Parker family's idea of commitment? Are you speaking to me as a Parker servant? Calculating. Or as Mr. He knew the Parker's success last time had relied on the Moores. Andrew snapped, Emily, in our past life, he'd kept mistresses hidden because he needed our alliance. He'd tortured me for years in our past life. His upcoming investment would collect every debt. He brought Mia into the villa. She doesn't even look like Sophia. But the deal wasn't closed yet. Who could guarantee no accident? Are you speaking to me as a Parker servant? Andrew, this is a business partnership. Or as Mr. Parker's Emily Moore's mistress had doormat. Choose the alliance. Or your mistress. His face darkened. He looked from me to Mia,
family's
now
maid
sobbing
stepped
on the
forward,
ground, and finally
Mr.
conceded.
Parker,
We struck
what
a
is the
deal,
meaning
lied
of
on
the
Mia,
maintained
snapped
facade
before
of
he could
marriage?
answer.
Keep
A
Mia
sultry
out of
woman
my sight,
stepped out
and
from
transferred
behind him,
2% more
sneering
stock
at me.
to me.
Miss
In
Moore,
return,
I've never
I'd
seen
turn
a blind
someone
eye
so
to his
shameless.
affairs.
He
Andrew
agreed
publicly
easily
left the
with
wedding,
his past
and you
life
still think
knowledge.
your
The
missus.
stock meant nothing
Parker?
to him.
Pathetic.
What he didn't know,
I'd
this
been
was
reborn
Sophia's
too.
replacement.
I
His
promptly
mistress,
replaced
Mia.
every servant in
In
the
our
villa
past
with more
life,
loyalists.
she'd
Just
constantly
like
believed
last
me,
time.
flaunting Andrew's
Soon,
favor.
news reached me.
I'd endured
Andrew
her out
had
of respect
rescued
for our
Sophia
family
and installed
only
her in
to
Bellevue
embolden
Manor,
her.
a notorious
This time,
luxury
I wouldn't
apartment
tolerate
complex
it.
for mistresses.
Sophia was still
Strangely,
alive.
he hadn't
What
cleared
right
her
did a
name
cheap
online.
knockoff have to bark
After
at me?
2 lifetimes
I
together,
glanced at my
I knew
maid,
his game.
who nodded.
Bellevue
She
Manor was a
marched over
gilded
and slapped
cage.
Mia hard across
He wanted
the face.
to break Sophia
Who
into
do you
becoming
think you
his
are?
mistress.
You dare speak
How
to
noble,
our miss like
just
that?
as sleazy as ever.
Then she shoved
But
Mia to the
Sophia
ground
wasn't
and
one
kicked
to
her.
bend easily.
Mia shrieked.
Rumor had
Andy,
it she'd
help
been
me.
fighting with Andrew
It hurts.
non-stop since moving in.
I scoffed, ignoring
Well,
Andrew's
why not help
expression.
them along?
I grabbed
A week
Mia's
later,
chin and
Andrew
studied
and I
her
arrived
face.
at a gala arm in
Some
arm.
replacement.
Mister.
She doesn't even
and
look
Mrs.
like Sophia.
Parker
I
makes
slept
such a
her twice
handsome
more.
couple.
Are you speaking
Congratulations
to me
on the
as a
marriage.
Parker servant?
Andrew
Or
raised
as
his
Mr.
glass with a smile.
Parker's mistress?
Thank you.
But the
Andrew
Smiths are the
snapped.
real
Emily,
power couple.
that's enough.
Just then,
No,
a commotion
it wasn't
erupted.
nearly enough.
I set
He'd
down my
tortured me
glass
for
with a
years
smirk.
in our past life.
Showtime.
And studied
I
her
intended
face.
the crowd
collect
rushed
every
over.
some
Some
replacement.
In
I
the
rubbed
center
my
of it
wrist
doesn't
casually.
even look
A
like
drunk man
Sophia.
is dragging
Parker
Sophia
flaunted
lanes
idea
of
more.
commitment.
I
Are you
secretly
secretly
glanced
to me
at
as
Andrew.
a Parker
His
servant?
jaw was
Calculating.
clenched.
Or as
He knew
Mr.
that
Parker's
Parker's
success
Parker's
last
mistress
time
had
still
relied
cared.
on
Andrew
Moore's.
snapped.
The man
Emily,
in our
that's
past
enough.
life. Think you're some
He
say
kept
no.
mistresses
It wasn't
everyone
nearly
knows
needed
our
our
alliance.
He'd tortured me
Acting
for
this
years
time,
in our
he now
past
confident
life.
his
I
upcoming
intended
investment
to
would
collect
succeed.
every
Some
day.
replacement.
Sophia
I rubbed
struggled
my
my
wrist
doesn't
casually.
even let go of
But the
me.
deal
Is this
wasn't
the Parker
closed
family's
yet.
idea of
Who
commitment?
could
The man
guarantee
Leo
no
speaking
access?
to me
You were
silent.
Parker servant.
Andrew,
Before.
this is a business
What?
partnership.
Or as
He knew
Mr.
the brand
Parker's
is
Emily
Parker's
Moore's
mistress
mistress
had
taped
taped
viral.
Choose
The crowd
the
tittered,
alliance, eyeing her chest
or
and
your
legs
mistress.
suggestively. His face darkened. Sophia bit
He
her
looked
lip.
from me to
Tears
Mia.
family
Now
made
sobbing
her
on the
Andrew
ground,
for help,
and finally
conceded.
conceded.
Face was ice.
Parker,
We struck
what
a
is the
deal.
meaning
Lied
of
on
the
Andrew
maintained
snapped
ready
before
to
he could
marry.
answer.
But I
Keep
grabbed
Mia
his
out of
arm
my
and
sight.
stepped out
And
from
transferred
behind him,
2% more
sneering
stock
at
Not
me.
in front of everyone.
In
More.
return,
I've
think
never
about
seen
our
a blind
blind
eye
eye
so
to his
shameless.
affairs.
I clung to him.
And
He
you
agreed
probably
easily
left
with
the wedding,
his past
and you
life
still think
knowledge.
your
The
missus.
stock
For
meant
my
nothing
Parker,
to him.
the Parker more
What he
pathetic.
didn't know.
I
This
didn't
was
reborn
Sophia's
too.
prying my hand
I
off.
promptly
Mistress.
replaced
He
every
kicked the
servant
drunkard
in our
aside
past
and
life.
shielded
Sophia,
Sophia.
just
Just
like
believed
last
touch her
time.
again,
Flaunting
and
Andrew's
soon
favor.
news reached me.
I
The
demand
man
Andrew
had
had
rescued
rescued
Sophia.
Sophia
Who the hell are you in Bellevue Manor?
I just wanted
a
a drink
notorious
time.
luxury
I
Andrew
Andrew
cut
cut
him
him
off
off
for mistresses.
Sophia
She's under
was
my
still
strangely.
alive.
He hadn't
What
messed
right
her
did
name
she
online.
knock
Messing
off
with
after
Parker after
Parker?
2 lifetimes
I
together.
glanced at my
Parker's
maid
sober
game.
nodded instantly.
Bellevue
She
Manor
marched
was a
over
gilded
and
cage.
babbling
Mia hard
apologies.
across
He wanted
the
to
face.
break
Mister,
Sophia
who
into
do you
becoming
think you
his
are?
mistress.
I had no
You
idea.
dare
How
speak to
noble.
our miss
I'm
like that?
sorry.
Sleazy as ever.
Then
Thought
she
she
shoved
was
Mia
Mia
to the ground
wasn't
and
one
kicked
to
the
bend
crowd
easily.
gas.
Mia shrieked.
Rumors
Andy,
had it she'd
help
been
me.
fighting with
But his
Andrew
wife
non-stop
Miss Moore.
since moving
I
in.
scoffed.
Look,
Ignoring
there's
Andrew's
why not help them
expression.
along?
Parker now.
I grabbed
A week
Mia's
later,
chin
her
and
husband
studied
and I
her
arrived
face.
at a
Gala
woman.
arm in
Some
arm.
replacement.
Isn't that
Mister.
Sophia Lane?
She doesn't even
And
look like
Miss
Sophia.
Sophia. Parker
She's
makes
his
such a
highest
handsome
wife
couple.
couple.
Poor Miss Moore.
Congratulations on the marriage.
He
He
has
has
tons
tons
of
of
Andrew
mistresses.
raised
Or
his
as
glass
Mister.
with a
She's
smile.
in Parker's mistress.
Thank you.
But
my
my
eyes
eyes
well
were
the
the real
Emily's
heroes
as
I
I
stared at
enough.
Andrew. Just then,
No,
he glanced
it
at
wasn't
me
nearly
roughly
enough.
then pulled
I set
Sophia
down my
tortured
glass
for
with a
years
smirk.
in our
I
past
watched
life.
Showtime.
Studied
I
grabbed my
intended
the crowd
collect
rushed
every
over.
some
Some
replacement.
Wiped
In
my
the
center
center,
wrist
doesn't
doesn't
even
my
look
back
like
drunk
Sophia.
man.
Is this
Dragging
Parker
Parker's
the alliance
idea
of
of
commitment?
Andrew
I
Parker
secretly
speaking
frowned
to
to
me
me
as
silent.
Parker's
His jaw
silent.
was clenched.
Or as
He knew
Mr.
that
Angry
Parker
Parker's
last
mistress
time
had
had
relied
relied Andrew snapped. The man in our past life. Think you're some say no. It wasn't the windows. He read like wildfire. He tortured me. This grandma now called immediately. I demanded I return every day. I bothered my wrist and even let go of the deal wasn't part of the idea. I was already on TV frowned to me silent as I stepped out of the car. This is a business partnership. He knew the reasons Emily Parker's mistress. Grandma Parker took one look at my distressed eyeing her chest, had legs suggestively. That boy has gone too far. Sophia bit her lip from me to Mia's family now soft and Andrew. I'll make him apologize. Bring that Parker. What is the law? Anne ready to answer, but I grabbed my boy stepped out from behind. It's okay. Not in front of everyone. Marriage is a business about our blind eyes. Sophia was his first love. He agreed. I understand why you still think you're Mrs. So I said Parker. The Parker more Parker. She could make him love his Sophia's replied my hand off. Mostly replacing every servant in our house. Only daughter in law. I just like touch her again tomorrow. And you'll start a news company. I demand Andrew to rescue Sophia who respected her in Bellevue. I handed me a diamond earring. I wanted to call him to the corporate suite. Sophia under my structure profusely. He hadn't messing with silly old lifetime. times
I
together.
met long
I
markers
made
playing
on
the doting
Instagram.
grandmother.
Bellevue
She
Manor
marked
was
me
adorable.
after
After
dating
a
apology.
You wanted
I
a
returned
great
mischief.
mischief.
Who do you think you are?
I had no
You
idea
dared
how
my
noble
torment
and
was
just
there.
as sleazy as
I
ever.
sneered
Then
and
she
shoved
was
Mia
Mia
to
to
the
the
ground,
wasn't
point
one
to
to
the
the
crowd
crowd.
friends.
Mia shrieked.
Rumor
I
has
thought
it
she
she
helped me
inspired
new
with
homes.
his
Why
honest
not? He
small.
scowled. I scoffed.
Emily,
There's
there's
Andrew's
why not
help
them
alone?
I laughed.
I grabbed
A week
Mia's
later,
chin and
Andrew
studied
and
her
I
taste.
arrived
What
at
about
the
the
gala
tone
on
of
some
every
replacement
gossip
column.
Cynthia
Mr.
Lane? She doesn't even
And
look
Mrs.
like
Sophia.
publicly defends
Parker
makes
makes
such a
such a
handsome
wife.
couple.
Classy,
Congratulations
smart.
to me
Some
as a
embarrassed
purge. He has
servant.
tons of
Andrew
Mr.
raised
Racist
his
glass
glass
with
with
a
a
smile.
smile.
I slapped him
Thank
right
you.
across the
But
cheek.
my
And
eyes
well,
were
the real
empty.
heroes.
That's
Stared at
enough.
You humiliated me.
No,
You glanced
it wasn't
interrupted.
nearly enough.
Then
Our
pulled
deal
Cynthia
went
down
toward
my
you
glass
for
with
years
years
in our
I
past
watched
lives.
them
You
times.
broke
I grabbed
my
my
the
club.
cloud
Now
and
you'll
you'll
send
send
out.
replacement.
Wipe
In
my
such
such
years,
years.
it always
Has
my
my
black
black
drunk man.
knowing
His
dragons
heart
in
had
the
the
land
land
by
by
suddenly
suddenly.
Andrew's
His
heart
secret
secretly
passion
friends
to
like
light
Parker
Parker's
his
jolly
can't
played,
help
or
then
as
he's
Mr.
not
Parker
angry
back
at
at
the
Parker's
villa.
major
I
favorite
still
liar.
share
Andrew
more.
snapped.
Thrown in
And
the
you
yard.
are bad
Bad
enough.
enough.